It's just, you know, pitching as a freshman this time in a big rivalry series like this, sometimes you have some nerves and you're really not cutting it loose like you should.
Reynolds is the hitter, and he takes the first pitch on the corner for a strike. Leadoff man Mikey Reynolds. This is his 6th plate appearance.
You can see him being in the rotation, and if not by the end of this year, next year.
Interesting note on Reynolds that he probably would just as soon I forgot. He's the only Aggie to strike out in the game today, and he's done it twice. He's been called out on strikes.
Mikey's not going to like that.
No, I take that back. I found one more. There have been 3. It wasn't him the third time.
Well, you don't want the sombrero here, though, right?
Oops. Ooh. I think he got hit.
He got hit, right? Yep.
Solves that problem. That is the 5th Aggie hit by a pitch.
Came up and in on him. Oh, that sad ball just tailed right away from him.
And let me point out, 5th Aggie hit by a pitch, none of them have been suspicious.
No, none of them.
Here's Arthur. He's had hits his last 2 times to the plate, 2 for 5. Runners on the corners. The runner at third is Stein. The runner at first is Reynolds. We've got 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Foul back. Longhorns coming up in the bottom of the 9th, have the bottom of the order to start things. Lussen, Maitland, and Ethier are scheduled. Curtis has thrown 59 pitches, 60 pitches now, 36 for strikes. He came in with a runner on base in the 7th. He gave up 1 earned run. So he's getting a workout, 61 pitches out of the pen. Actually, he's only 3 pitches off what the starter threw, Parker French.
And you can see down the road with Curtis and Parker French, you can see those guys, you know, obviously Parker's in the rotation now, but you can see where Curtis would be there here in another year.
Foul ball, right side. Hits the top of the roof and smacks back down into the stands.
We see a lot of these pitches, Greg, they coming in from high school, they, you know, the Roll MVPs, they have all the big numbers, they come in, but it's making that adjustment to college when you come in here and pitching. You know, usually you face maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 good hitters in high school. Here, you got a pretty good lineup of all-stars. All these guys were all-stars in high school, and now you have to make that adjustment, and some do it better than others.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on, and a toss to keep Reynolds close. And it's a ball, and I don't know, we'll decide whether we're going to have fielder's indifference on that or not.
Catcher's indifference on that.
Going down to second base, Reynolds. We're at UFCU Dish Falk Field, United Federal Credit Union Dish Falk Field in Austin. Texas A&M leads at 8-3, top of the 9th. That's fouled back into the stands and out of the people in the suite. And that was a guy that was wearing an Aggie suit, and Aggie shirt color, and he did not catch it.
Did not make the catch.
Well, I guess they can't have everything their way today. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. John Curtis. Foul ball. Barely foul. That's a tough play, actually, for a lot of people. It was tough for the first baseman, Silver, who was slashing away from him. It was tough for the first base umpire, Mike Morris, because he had to get out of the way at the same time watching it.
Yeah, that is a tough one. Had that reverse spin on it. It was like it's coming right at you.
That little ground up rubber helps because you can really see the bounce where it landed.
Yeah. As you see when you see the line, you still get the...
Yeah, it's like a chalk line all over the field. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs.
It's the line, you got the chalk and the rubber bouncing up.
Then it comes up gray.
Yeah.
That's line to right field. It's going to be a tough play for Peyton. He can't get to it. 1 run scores. That's the 9th run. Here comes the 10th run. It's a 2-run single by Scott Arthur.
Nice piece of hitting by Scott. Just kept going the other way with it. You thought at some point that Curtis would come inside. He kept missing right going down the right field line, but he finally got one and put it in play. There's that breaking ball, got it up. Scott did a nice job of just driving it in right field, and Peyton really didn't have a chance to come in and get the ball. He was playing over there towards the line, but just not enough.
Well, let's get Johnson out there, and I'm waiting to see the gate open. In the bullpen, it hadn't opened. Okay, there he comes. That will be a pitching change. That will be Kirby Bello. Kirby Bello, I'll tell you about it later.
Coming May 13th, a Barclays Premier League event. On the final day of the season, 9 games, broadcast simultaneously across these Fox outlets, live. Who will join Champions League? Who will lose everything? Survival Sunday, May 13th, live at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, sponsored by Pizza Hut.
The happiest moment in my baseball career was when I put the Brooklyn Dodger uniform on.
I couldn't believe when I went out on the mound, I turned around and there's Joe playing center field for me.
I'm Tom Brokaw. Join me for The Boys in the Hall, the personal stories of some of baseball's greatest legends.
The Boys in the Hall, Sundays, presented by Subway Restaurants.
Top of the ninth with a change we'll tell you about. The Aggies lead at 10-3, but don't forget, on your Fox Television Network channel tonight, NASCAR on Fox heads under the lights in Richmond as defending champion Kyle Busch. There he is. He goes right past us now. He leads the world's best drivers in the chase for the checkered flag. Fox Sports is proud to bring you exclusive coverage of Sprint Cup Series racing live from the Richmond International Raceway. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. It won't sound any better than this.
Oh, look at that.
This is it, boy.
Got the new pitcher coming up, Kirby Bello, 6'1", 190. Hasn't pitched much, only an inning and a third this year so far. Sophomore, Nederland, Texas. Drafted out of high school in the 29th round by Cleveland. You see those numbers, hasn't got much action here yet this year, but coming in to get the lefty specialist.
Now the hitter's Naquin.
It's not good when you're giving up a 429 hitting against opposing hitters.
No.
It's not good. Good test for him, though.
Yeah, we'll use small sample as the excuse. And it is. 1 ball and no strikes. And it's 2-0. Counts like that, though, is why you end up having high batting averages against. When you put the hitter ahead on the count, he is just so much more relaxed. Not tense. 2 balls and a strike. And it's 3-1.
So we called in to get the lefty out. Usually you're coming for 1 or 2 hitters. You got to come in and get those guys out throwing strikes, or have some kind of breaking ball going away from them.
Chopper foul outside the bag. 3-2. Runner at first base, so he can leave early with the pitch. I don't know whether it's just lefties, but it seems like so many lefties on all levels are used as specialists, and they come in and very high percentage of walks to the first left-handed hitter they face. I don't know why that is.
Yeah, you think Silva would be playing behind him with the lefty up right now.
Fly ball, center field, going back for his Maitland, still going back, still there, and it's out of here. Over and out of here. Got it up in the wind, and Tyler Naquin with a 2-run homer.
He fell behind him. We got it to a 3-2 count, but he really didn't have a pitch to put him away with, and boy, that's how you hit close to 400. He's a Big 12 Player of the Year last year. Just took that pitch and drove it the other way off the lefty. Obviously, the wind helped a little bit, but He put a hurting on that one. Got a good swing on that pitch, and he looked at it. He knew he had a chance.
Yeah, it had a chance, and you looked at Maitland there. He just keeps going back, and he says, I'm going to run out of room. And he did, amazingly. But that was exactly where you hit it if you want to get advantage from the wind. There's a base hit inside the line to the right side. Past Silver. Jacob House is on his horse to second. He will be there with a double. Another left-hander. So Bello has not been a secret.
No, he hasn't, and that's why obviously he hasn't pitched much this year so far. You look at it again, lefty on lefty, tries to get a fastball in on him, but Jacob just pulled it right down the line, right over the base.
A 4-run top of the ninth, and that may be it. Skip's going out again.
And it's surprising, the first two games we've seen here, we haven't seen their stopper, Corey Knebel. Usually we see him at some point.
Well, we're going to see a new pitcher. Let's take a look at the Naquin swing before we take a break. We'll tell you about the new arm in just a moment.
The war had been going on for 2 years, and I got the calling. I got the calling to join the service and support the boys over there. I never thought that I would have PTSD. I thought that I had enough coping skills.
I don't think anybody who goes into combat could ever honestly say that they're not different when they come home.
My life's changed. What you take as a simple thing is not so simple for me anymore.
It's like a pressure cooker. And, you want somebody desperately to trip that valve. You want to, lose all of that anger and angst.
I would say to those people that are out there, get educated. Don't brush this aside and don't count us out.
Hear more of their stories at usoinvisiblewounds.org. The wounds are invisible. The stories are real.
12-3, 14 hits for the Aggies. Taylor Takel is the new pitcher. He's a sophomore, hasn't lettered yet. 6'2", 205 out of Sugar Land, Texas. Here's the upcoming schedule for the Ags. After the game tomorrow, they will play a non-conference game against Sam Houston State. Back in conference play for a 3-game series with Texas Tech, and then they're done in conference play. They have a 3-game series with San Diego State as that odd week off. Texas has one more game with the Aggies tomorrow, then a non-conference game with Prairie View, then 2 more conference series at Missouri, and one that will be fun. They take on #1 Baylor. Nothing may be on the line at that point, but that should be fun. Texas Southern, also a non-conference game squeezed in there. Takel is not on the stat sheet, so we're guessing this is his debut.
First appearance for the season.
6'7", 215, Sugar Land, Kempner High School. Didn't play last year. And he takes the first pitch for a strike, does Matt Yengel.
I think Augie was expecting to get this deep into the bullpen in this series.
Well, especially when you get the guys that haven't pitched.
Yeah.
And there's a drive to left field going over for his Walls. He makes the catch. And that retires the side.
He's on the stat sheet now, Greg.
Yes, he is, and he's got a 0 earned run average. 4 runs in the inning. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Longhorns down by 9. We'll be back.
Fifth on Fox. Tune in right at 8 as hard-hitting heavyweights Pat Berry and LeVar Johnson go head-to-head in the first of 4 huge fights. Then Palhares battles Belcher. Koscheck takes on Hendricks. And Ultimate Fighter champion Nate Diaz faces Jim Miller for a shot at title contention. 4 huge fights, 1 great night. May 5th live, free, and only on Fox.
Soy mexicano, americano.
Cubana americana.
Colombiano americano.
Boricua americana.
Dominicana americana.
Mexicano americano. Cubano americano.
Peruano americano.
Dominicano Americano.
Colombiana y americana.
Mexicano, americano.
Americana como tú.
Americano como tú. Americano como tú.
This summer, say hola to the new Spanish language broadcast network for you. Mundo Fox, Americano como tú.
The Dan Patrick Show. Weekdays. Check local listings.
Aggies lead at 12-3. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Estevan Uriagas is in, replacing Ross Stripling. Went 8 innings, 9 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, no walks, 122 pitches, 85 strikes. How about Uriagas?
Yeah, Uriagas out of Round Rock, Texas. He's a senior this year. He's been here all 4 years. Look at his number, 3-0 with a 1.76 ERA. He's done the job for the Aggies over his 4 years. He's always coming in middle setup situation, sometimes in a save situation. Last year he was 1-0 with a 3.60 ERA, so he's been pretty valuable here for the Aggies as a left-hander coming in late in the game.
Face Lusson. No, he won't. There's going to be a pinch hitter. That's going to be London Steinhagen.
London out of Beaumont, Texas. Another big guy, 6'1", 220. He's another Howard Junior College.
Big right-handed batter. He takes the first pitch for a ball. He's had 235 average. He's actually started 14 of the 15 games he's played. 1 home run, 2 runs batted in. And a strike. Landon Steinhagen from Beaumont. By way of Howard Community College. Fouled away. Look out. There were some folks there that weren't paying enough attention, and they
Just got it.
We had a sellout here today. Most of them very disappointed at the way things have turned out. They have a chance to see another game tomorrow. There's a strikeout. There's one out here. Uriagas gets the fan of Steinhagen.
Nice pitch by Estevan.
And another pinch hitter.
It's turned off speed pitch, a little changeup. Those lefties throw a little
Hunter
screwball.
Redmond will pinch it.
Hunter out of Midland, Texas, freshman. Your backup catcher.
This will only be his 3rd at bat. Looking for a hit. First one. No balls and a strike.
Are we giving some of the younger players an opportunity to get into the series?
Hunter was first team All-State, 432 as a senior. He's got a lot of Texas Tech connections, but he is retired for the 2nd out.
Hey, his brother Reed, he's the 3rd baseman up there for Texas Tech. It's an easy comebacker. 2nd out of the inning.
Eater will stay in, and he's up now. Aggies hang on and survive any 9-run innings here with 2 outs. The Aggies will get 1 more point in that Lone Star series. By winning this series, they will have clinched the series. That pitch is outside, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. They also will have allowed Baylor to clinch no less than a tie for the regular season championship in the Big 12. Two balls and no strikes. Those over in the Austin area can catch the finale of this game tomorrow, by this series tomorrow, coming on out here to the ballpark. Locally, the Longhorn Network will have it televised. 2 balls and no strikes. There's a strike called. But as much anticipation as there is to hear Jack do his auto sounds. There's still nothing like being out here at the ballpark in person. I know you don't get to hear them.
Yeah, you don't hear them at home.
No, but nothing like being at the ballpark in person. So if you're in the Austin area, come on out tomorrow. 3 balls and a strike. Well, he won't be making the sounds tomorrow.
No, I won't be making them.
No,
last time you might see the Aggies and the Longhorns play against each other, unless we see them at the Big 12 Championship or in a regional somewhere down the road.
That's right. Well, this thing will all cool off. They'll play each other again. It's just win. There's a long drive left field. Going back for it is Wood, and he's looking up, and it's out of here. Over and out for Jordan Etier, his first home run of the year.
Jordan turned that fastball right around and hit it into the Aggie bullpen. Nice shot by Jordan Etier. Having a tough time at short, but at the plate, takes a high fastball. Hit it real good. The wind really didn't affect that one. He got all that one. And deposited right where Estefan came out, right there in the bullpen.
That makes it 12-4 with 2 outs. The top of the order, Mark Payton. Payton's 2 for 4. Collins, they have 10 hits and 2 homers. But they're down by 8. A&M has 14 hits, 4 unearned runs. Just missed on the outside corner.
Scott trying to get that last out. We talked about that earlier, Craig. In the other sports, you got to get 27 outs in baseball. No time clock.
And a strike. Esteban Uriagas is an interesting young man because not only is he an outstanding left-handed short inning pitcher, in high school he won the highest honors at the UAL competition for ensemble and solo violin. He also plays the piano. He's more than just an arm. 3 balls and a strike. He's played summer ball with the Alaskan League. Westwood High School, and there he walks, the leadoff man, Payton.
I don't think Rob Childers wants a little replay of last night's ball game.
No, he's got a little more cushion this time, and there's 2 outs. They did a lot of damage after 2 outs. Marlowe is the hitter. Marlowe is 0 for 4, but he does have a run batted in. Lefty against lefty.
Looks like Payton with that big a lead. He's going to walk down to second base.
Yeah, he's going to.
Yeah.
Another FI, fielding indifference.
This makes the infielders make the long throw over to first base now.
That's really all it does, but that's something. It can be something to keep a rally going. Nope. 2 balls and no strikes. So
sometimes you get the ball, you got to try to throw strikes. Sometimes you start aiming the ball instead of just letting it go. The first 2 outs, real quick ones, got the strikeout and the ground ball back to him. And that last out is always the toughest one to get.
Cole Langford, by the way, I just noticed, is behind the plate. He's catching now for the Aggies. Got to get the name mentioned.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad. They're saying, why haven't they mentioned that? You can see his name on the back of his... Well, I didn't hear an announcement, but he is catching. 3 balls and no strikes. And a strike 2. 3-2, 2 outs. Oh, wait a minute, I guess 3-1. Out of play now. It's 3-2.
Don't make him hit that ball. Put it in play.
One of the nice things about this park is no matter how hot it is, if many of the fans are shaded because they did put a big roof on. The big roof's been here since the original construction, but shade makes a big difference.
Oh yeah,
for comfort. If you want to sit out in the sun, you got that option. High fly ball, short left. And just getting to it is Brotson to wrap up the ball game. This one's got Aggies written all over it as they clinch the series. Baylor clinches no less than a tie for the Big 12 regular season championship. And the Aggies also take the baseball portion of the Lone Star Showdown. Jack, final thoughts on this one? It was impressive, but it was the Aggies really all the way both days.
Well, it was both starting pitchers, and they got them both in the 8th inning both days, and that was a difference. And the Aggies, got the key hits when they needed them, but it was an uncharacteristic Longhorn team making errors both last night and tonight that really put them behind and really had to play catch-up both games. So I'm sure tomorrow's game should be an interesting one. See how the Longhorns come out and hopefully not get